Okay, today we're going to do Chapter 3, England's First Colony, 1606 to 1636. In this chapter, you will read about people from England who came to America during the early 1600s. You'll find out why these people came to America. You'll learn where they built their towns. You'll read how they learned to live in a new land. The beginnings of Jamestown. It was a cold December day in 1606. 3 small ships carrying about 100 men all set sail from London. The men were going to start a colony in Virginia. A colony is a settlement in one country that is ruled by the government of another country. So go ahead and highlight colony. And then a colony is a settlement in one country that is ruled by the government of another country. An English company sent the men to Virginia to look for gold. They believed they would soon be rich. The trip to America was long and hard. Many men died. Finally, in May 1607, the men sailed into a river that they called the James River. They built their settlements along the shores of the James River. They called their settlement Jamestown. The men built a settlement near a swamp. The water there made many of them sick. Mosquitoes in the swamp carried a sickness that killed some of the colonists. Colonists are people who live in a colony. So our next word is colonist, and they are people who live in a colony. There were other problems too. Because they hadn't been farmers in England, the colonists didn't know how to farm. Many of them came from wealthy English families. They were not used to working with their hands. They didn't want to build houses or plant crops. As a result, they didn't have much to eat. John Smith helps the colonists. Things might have been a lot worse for the colonists if it hadn't been for Captain John Smith. He became the leader of the colonists at Jamestown in 1608. Smith gave clear orders. Anyone who didn't work didn't eat. He made the colonists hunt for food and plant crops. They built houses and a church. John Smith also made friends with the American Indians. Some American Indians traded with the colonists. Soon the colonies began to do well. Soon new colonists came. The colony grew corn and tobacco and raised pigs. The beginning of democracy. By 1619, there were 11 small communities near Jamestown. About 1,000 colonists lived in the area. The English company that ran Jamestown let the colonists share in the government. Each community chose 2 men. These men were called burgesses. They were chosen to meet and make laws for the colonists. So burgesses is the next word. And they were men that were chosen to meet and make laws for the colonists. The lawmaking group was called the House of Burgesses. The House of Burgesses made many laws. There were even laws against getting drunk or wasting time. The House of Burgesses also gave women the right to own property. Most women did not have this right in the early 1600s, but the Burgesses knew that the colony would not grow unless both men and women worked hard. What other rules do you think would have been important? The start of the House of Burgesses was the first step towards democracy in America. Democracy is a kind of government in which the people have a say in their lives. So our next word is democracy. And it is a kind of government in which the people have a say in their laws. Since we live in the United States of America, we have a democracy in our country. So the people have a say in their laws. Okay, we will stop there today and continue tomorrow.